Mary, I
Yes.
think that we're the second last obstacle to the end of year party, so we need to be short,
Yes.
but we need to be efficient. Firstly, maybe you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, so my name is Marie, and I am a Chief Evangelist Officer at Klaxoon, which can be weird, because in fact my role is to be like tonight in front of you and to be able to explain what is Klaxoon and to explain the value of Klaxoon, the history, and what you can do with Klaxoon.
Okay, so then I think this
What is
the
Klaxoon,
obvious
so?
question is, what is Klaxoon?
Do you know Klaxoon first? Yeah, yes, we have one of our users just in front, that's true. In fact, Klaxoon helps to be much more efficient when working in groups, in teamwork. So just one question, do you know how many years you spent in meetings? Too much. Too much. In fact, in France, it's 16 years. And yeah, that's why I'm always ask the question, 16 years. And there is two key figures to bear in mind. That the first one is that 70% of the time, you do other things than being focused on the purpose you're gathered all together. You do your emails, you just working on other projects and so on. And the second figure is that 50% of the people, they can't express themselves. They can't manage to express their ideas. So with Klaxoon, in fact, when you're in a meeting, you take what you have in your pocket. So it could be a smartphone, a tablet, or a laptop. You just have to connect to Klaxoon. There is nothing to download or to install because it's just a web app. And you're able, when you're on a meeting, to share your ideas through brainstorming, for instance, through quizzes, votes, surveys. There is a bunch of activities to be able to express ideas. And for instance, our users, they tell us that they're able to have 100 people participating during meetings. Yeah. They're also able to take 3 times more decisions. And the time of the meeting is cut in half. So it's very, very great.
That's very interesting. So we were talking earlier, and you said that you were traveling from Brittany.
Yes.
So no confusion, it's not Britain.
No, not Britain.
That one remains in the
Yeah.
EU. So can you tell us more about this experience in Brittany and having a scale-up made in Brittany?
Yes, it's true that we've heard a lot tonight about being in Paris, being in large cities. And we launched, in fact, the product and the company in 2015, so just 3 years and a half, from Brittany, from Rennes. And it was it's really great. And in fact, when we launched the product, it was one of the challenge was how to attract people in Rennes. So I remember business nights like this one in Paris, and people telling me, you're crazy, you're not going to be able to attract talent in Rennes. And well, we succeeded because we began being 5 people in the company, and today we are more than 200, and we will hire 150 people next year. So you can attract people, you can launch a startup, and now it's scale up, being in Rennes and not being, in fact, in big companies.
Okay.
In big cities, sorry.
So, but I believe that now you're also in big cities.
Yeah, because in fact, today, 3 years and a half after the launch, we have more than 1 million people using Klaxoon in 120 countries. So everything from Rennes and also from Paris, Lyon, and New York City. But the most of the people, of the 200 people, are in Rennes. So we are really proud, in fact, to have this kind of local location and to be able, in fact, to interact and to have an international impact on the globe. Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm quite curious to understand how you build a project in Rennes, and then suddenly you go to New York and you have a collaborative platform that is based on French culture, I would assume. How do you do, first, to attract talent, and second, to also adapt to the American culture and the New York culture that is sometimes very well known for being different,
Yes.
to ensure that you manage to reach all the challenges that you have in this country?
So, first of all, in France, in fact, it's really good to work, for instance, in those kind of country in Britain, in Rennes, because you can have a better work balance between personal and professional life. So we have a lot of people that are really interested and really great talents that are really interested in working in Rennes rather than in Paris for French ecosystem. And for the US, it's true that when we launched the office in New York, it was a challenge because we have a strong history and a strong way of doing things within Klaxoon, and we wanted, of course, to adjust it, to adapt to the US market, but we also wanted our DNA to be part of the trading, the meeting revolution within the US. So we found something that we managed to find French people yet settled in the US, so being able to be close to the mindset of the US people and being able also to understand how we wanted to be, how we wanted to run the project and to run the business within the US, but in kind of French mode. So it was really challenging to find those people. We spent time to find those people. So we have part of the people in the US that are French people working in the US for a long time, and also American people. And there is a kind of a mixity that is great. And so we managed to hold this business in the United States, right?
So one challenge, one tick box. So now, more generally, if you had to describe all the challenges that you went through whilst scaling up.
There are lots.
So let's start with the beginning.
Well, in fact, you do step after step, in fact. So when we launched, there was the problem of the talents, and also 3 years and a half, we were 5 people. No one was knowing Klaxoon, so just how we can manage to succeed in our ambition. Since the beginning, we had this big ambition to make the world Klaxoon. So, in fact, we made a lot of exhibition. We made a lot of also apply for prizes and so on. So the year after we launched, we had the first CES Innovation Awards in Las Vegas, which was really, really awesome, great, because it was a recognition of the market, and it was also a consumer prizes. And we are a B2B solution, but we really have the consumer DNA in the product, in the way we do things, and so on. So it was really great to have this first milestone in the history of the company. So this was a first challenge, and the second one was, of course, the fundraising question. So we had 3 rounds right now. We had one in 2016 with just 5 million euros, but it's a lot. But we had the third one this year with much more, so it was great. It was $50 million. And we also paid great attention not on having not only financial investor, of course financial you have when you want to raise money, but also to be able to have real partners in order for us to be much more aware of the ecosystem, to be much more aware of the market. So we found investors able in the United States since the first round, which was really great, also in France, and also people well knowing the Asia market, to be able, when we want to enter the market, to get good advice, good knowledge of the market. So this was the second challenge that we had.
Okay, and so second challenge. So then, if you had to describe how you managed to, because you became so big in such a short amount of time, so if you had to explain how you maintain the work efficiency within the teams whilst becoming so big in such a little time, how would you describe that?
I think the last people that you told that from Med.com, you told Philippe, I think it's your, I don't remember the first name, you told that it's really a way of also keeping your DNA. And it's a real challenge when you hire new talents to really keep this kind of DNA. So we managed to do it by, in fact, keeping, for instance, like a flat hierarchy. We really want, in fact, to have strong teams, to empower teams, to trust your teams, in fact, and to be able to make them responsible for the job. So it's part of the DNA. It's part also of the DNA of the product, of course.
Exactly.
So in fact, we use a lot, of course, Klaxoon. We use a lot for daily meetings, of course, for weekly meetings, for managing the projects. And in fact, we try to always to focus on teams. And you know, there is something that we say within our company: nothing can stop a team that works efficiently. So I think that it's we try to apply that within our company. And when people come to the headquarters at the Klaxoon campus in Rennes, we have more than 3,000 people this year coming to the campus, and they can see how we organize and how we work. And in fact, they can see that just by using Klaxoon, they can do the same within their company, no matter what the size is, no matter what their job is. They can succeed, in fact, in finding the way to empower the teams and to be able to better work all together as a team.
Okay, so now it's quite self-interested, the next question. I'm sure other people might be interested, but because Mazars uses Klaxoon, so we're quite interested to know about the next steps. What's in the pipeline? What are the next steps? And how are you going to become even bigger?
Wow. The last fundraising that we made in June, I think, yeah, it was in June this year. In fact, it's for two kind of things. First of all, we really need to make the R&D grow. We have 50 people right now today. We have a strong R&D, for instance, able to work in this summer with the R&D of Microsoft, because we made a partnership we announced in last November. So we really want to make this team going bigger, to be able to provide also other kind of tools for our full suite of apps. So it's very important for us. And of course, to be able to open new markets. We have the US, but we also have, you know, we have 120 countries with Klaxoon today. Of course, mainly with most of the CAC 40, because we have all the CAC 40 people, companies using Klaxoon, but also we have people just by word of mouth, they just knock at the door and say, okay, I've just heard about Klaxoon. I'm, for instance, in Switzerland, or I'm, for instance, in Copenhagen, and I want to use it. So there is a real something very viral about Klaxoon, but we also need to invest on those countries. So I think the next step will also be to be able to open new countries and to be able to make the world Klaxoon, as we wanted
so probably
in the beginning.
One question of interest, London soon?
I hope. That's why maybe we're here with my colleague Charles.
Okay. So
of course.
There's going to be a lot of discussions.
Yes, tonight.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. So if there was one takeaway that you wanted the audience to keep in mind after your this discussion, this fireside chat, which one would you like them to?
I would say trust your teams. Trust your teams, because before coming to Klaxoon, I was working in big companies. I worked 7 years within L'Oréal, and I work also with big companies when I was in consulting. And since I am in Klaxoon, I really see the power of a team. And when you have the great way to organize yourself, when you enable anyone within a team to be able to express their ideas, to be able to put his own stone to the team and to the project, you have strong teams, and you're really able to. There is no barrier, in fact, anymore to what a team wants to do. So just trust your team and empower the team, and make it possible for them to better work as a team.
Great. Sounds like a good conclusion.
Thank you.